I think of the adults when I go to siblings retreat. There was this one girl that she couldn't even talk about her brother without crying. And when she was leaving 4 days later, she was again crying because she didn't know what she was going to go back to. She was in such a safe place. She was with people that got her and had been through the similar tragedy. And COPS does that.
About 3 years ago, we launched this series called Behind the Uniforms here at the Whiskey Wall. We have had hundreds of people over the years come, active and retired, emergency responders, members of our service, and they have told stories about their time on the job, stories about being a survivor, and we've also been blessed to have many people come share stories of the work that they do in the community to help out those who serve and protect our communities and our country and their loved ones. And so today I am honored to introduce you all to Sarah of Concerns of Police Survivors. So Sarah, thanks for coming out first of all, and thank you guys for bringing some swag for the whiskey. I don't know if you knew, but this is all staying here at the Whiskey Wall.
I figured. Thank you for having us, and it's our gift to you.
Sarah, tell everyone who you are and what you do.
I am Sara Slone. I'm the Director of PR for the COPS National Office. I work on our magazine. I handle all of our media relations. Basically anything that is put out from the COPS National Office is coming from our department.
Sarah, it blew my mind when I first connected with you guys a year ago to realize how many people are sort of in the dark about the organization. So let's talk very specifically about what Concerns of Police Survivors is and is not.
Sure. COPS is a 501c3 national organization. We've been around since 1984. We started with 110 survivors, and we have grown to over 52,000 survivors, unfortunately. I think we're the only nonprofit that does not want to grow because that means that there's more line of duty deaths happening. But we work with the families and the coworkers that are affected by these deaths. So as you can see in the media with all the deaths happening, our membership is continuing to grow in the families that we are helping.
You've sort of become the American Red Cross of the line of duty death situation that we're facing in the country. And I'm sure that's a title that you guys probably don't want, but let's talk a little bit about the fact that out of all the donations that come in, you have a huge chunk that goes back to surviving families.
90%. We have very low admin costs. We have a very small staff with amazing people that just knock it out, and our number one priority is the survivors. And so it's easy coming to work because you know what your work is doing no matter what position you have there. You see the ultimate end of helping these people. You see them come in, you take their phone calls, they're a mess, they don't know if they're going to be able to survive this, and then you see them a year later and they become family, and you see that your work really does matter and that we're so needed. And like I said, we're just growing at a rapid pace. But I think we have amazing people that are there and the survivors that support each other. That's the heart of the organization.
Now, you almost went into law enforcement, right?
I did. Yep. I went to school to be in more forensics, but to also be an officer. And I was in my investigation class. I was a senior. I changed my major at the very last minute. But we had to review real crime scene photos, and it was a child. And what had happened to that child completely changed me, and I reacted like any human being would do. And my professor had a long talk with me, and he told me, realize that you're going to see this every day. And I realized that my voice was a lot stronger than what I could have done in a uniform. So I changed it to PR with a minor in criminal justice and found COPS, and I'm doing what I was meant to do.
Tell me about that feeling that you get seeing somebody go through that transition that you talked about a moment ago, where they come in a mess, not knowing if they're going to be able to make it through the day, much less be able to see a year down the road. And then you guys are working with them through that journey, and you see them a year or two or three later. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. One of my favorite parts of National Police Week is the Kids and Teens program. And it's oftentimes the first time that these young children, 6-year-old, they've never left their parents' side since the death of their mother or father, and they are scared, they're clinging to their legs, and we have ways to get them away, and we tell them, you're going to have fun, you're going to do all this. And then to see them 7 hours later crying because they don't want to leave their new best friends, it speaks mountains. And I think of the adults when I go to siblings retreat. There was this one girl that she couldn't even talk about her brother without crying, and when she was leaving 4 days later, she was again crying because she didn't know what she was going to go back to. She was in such a safe place. She was with people that got her and had been through the similar tragedy. And COPS does that.
It's got to be difficult handling the PR when you have media outlets that they're covering stories about officers killed in the line of duty, and of course they probably want to hear from survivors right away. How do you balance that with what you guys do best, which is protecting those families?
Exactly, and that's the balance. Is we want to bring awareness to COPS as an organization, but we want to protect our families and the coworkers because we know what they're going through. And from survivors that have been through it, them giving us their feedback of, we have so much media in our face at such a tragic time that we want to be careful. But I think we're trying to, and that's where we utilize the survivors that have been through it before, because our chapters reach out immediately. Like they're there, they're with the agency, they're with the family. We have them get on the media and tell the story. Here's what the family's going through. Here's why you need to be sensitive. And then we arrange the time later if we want to do a story, because especially if it's a very violent death, that's where we need to bring the awareness back.
Awesome. Sarah, let me ask you something. The logo, when you see this, when people see this, what does this mean to people?
That logo, it's twofold. It brings hope and healing, but it also, the folded flag can also just remind them of the sacrifice that their officer made. But our mission for that logo is to show that there's hope and healing after that tragic day, and that's what COPS is here for. We're going to be here for as long as they need us.
Whenever I see anybody wearing any of your shirts, your hats, your backpacks, I know that they're part of a bigger family, and what you guys have built in that family has been absolutely incredible to watch it grow and expand. I understand why you guys don't want to continue to grow as an organization. The sad truth and reality of where we are in society is that you're going to continue to do so. I find it to be incredibly reassuring knowing that there are good men and women who are supporting such an incredible group of people and cause. So guys, I highly encourage you to check out the website. Shameless plug, go.
www.concernsoffpolicesurvivors.org.
Copshop.com.
Copshop.com, and then you can follow us on all media or social media outlets at National Cops.
Guys, go check out the products. Go make a donation to the organization. Even $5 can help out significantly when you know that 90% of your donation is going to support these families. So thanks for supporting them. Thanks for hitting that share button. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Kyle.
God bless America.